Good morning, everybody. This is AL Thick Madame and Cinnamon Sugar. I'm leaving work. Okay. Let me start off by saying I'm leaving work on time, but I have to come into work early. So I'm gonna be pulling a 12-hour shift on my last day of work for this week, and I'm third from the top of the rotation list. Okay. I'm trying to move this over a little bit. But anyway, now, the reason why I got hit, as they say, is because the person who was above me, who goes to the top of the rotation list tomorrow, was called off because somebody who wanted to come in and work today came in, and they cannot assign you to work from home. They can call you if they're desperate and ask you if you want to work, but that's all they can do. They cannot assign you from home to work. So, yeah, they called him and told him that somebody else took his, spot. He ain't got to come in. Now, that was great for him because of how bad this weather is and how far he kind of lives from work, from what I was told. He lives a good little distance away. Okay. Again, as I said yesterday, definitely praying for everybody at this point who is experiencing this bad weather because of Ian. So yeah, we're getting a lot of very forceful winds and a lot of rain. It's tame right now, but earlier when I went outside to go put something in my car, I almost got blown away. The only thing that I'm really worried about is the wind. I'm not really worried about the rain because when it rains here, and I know it's going to rain a lot, I already know to expect flooding. There are a lot of low-lying areas here, so it just is what it is. But anyway, let me go ahead and start telling y'all about what done went down, because I'm going to end this by telling y'all what information the person wanted to tell me about, because he would not tell me yesterday. And I'm looking at him like, okay, but what is the information? Because I rolled up immediately this morning as soon as I saw him and was like, what is it hidden for? And he was like, I can't tell you right now. You probably gonna be mad, so I'm gonna wait until the end of the day. And I'm like, I don't want to wait. I mean, like, when we go on our first break, like, he was like, nah, I gotta tell you at the end of the day when we about to go home. And I'm like, well, dang, I take my last break an hour before we get off. Can I at least, will you be around then? Because I really want to know what it is. It's kind of already been eating me up. So yeah, y'all, I'm tired of my spirit. So okay, they gonna stop. So, okay. Today I worked in the new department with my partner, and they had one person stay over, so he pulled a 12-hour shift, and then one person who came in for 4 hours. So they ended up splitting the time back there, which was cool because the person who was supposed to be back there, he didn't come in, and he, again, was the person who they ended up calling off because somebody volunteered to come in on his behalf. Now, they screwed her because she ended up having to work 8 hours, and unless somebody came and picked her up so that she can go get breakfast and come back, she got to pull a 12-hour shift. I think somebody might have called and got her out of that, because as soon as I saw her, she said, I volunteered, because I rolled up on her. I was like, and what are you doing here? And everybody was looking at us, I guess because she's the type of person, she don't really talk to a lot of people like that, but she don't play no games. She will cuss you out in some more. So, for those of y'all who've been around like the entire time I've started telling y'all about stuff that's been happening at work, she's one of the people who, she stopped speaking to me when she caught on to the fact that the now divorced man lives for me. And it's like, I don't understand how you get mad at me when I didn't tell him to like me. I didn't, I wasn't even reciprocating anything at that time, because when all this was going down, this man was still full on married, and I was not trying to seek nothing. Y'all, I think this is the married man right here. I'm tired. Oh no. And y'all, I'm gonna pay attention because I think it is him. If it is him, I'm gonna go another direction, because the stuff I gotta tell y'all, I think it's him. I didn't want to look up in the car and make it obvious that I'm looking at him, but I think it is him. But I'm gonna keep my eye out and see if it is him. I'm gonna go another direction. I'm not gonna go straight home. I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna go to a store or something, and then leave from there if I see he following me. because he don't live over here. He live close to work on a really nice, good side of town. Like where I live is fine or whatever, but it ain't that side of town. Now, when it comes to all the flooding and all the other stuff that get tore up with the quickness, the great side of town, which is where he lived, it would get tore up first. And the last time we had some things to pop off, that side of town got towed down to the ground, flooded up, and some more. Like, I had been planning my move over there, and then when that happened, I was like, oh, y'all done went off. Like, at this point, I'm gonna have to get me some cinder blocks, get me a trailer or whatever, so that if I move over there, I'm gonna have to sit my stuff up on a trailer so that it'll be high up off the ground. And I have to hope that it's not, I'm trying to watch these people because everybody been wrecking around here because they don't know how to drive. Like, it's not even bad weather right now. That's what's tripping me out. It's like, what's wrong with y'all? I know this person better get off my bumper, because I'm not finna speed. I'm already going 5 miles per hour over the speed limit in the rain, and it's windy. So anyway, they can whoop over when they get cleared, because I will slow down on purpose if they want to try me. I am in the passing lane, and I am not wrong. They over here just cut this person off, almost killed them. Like, y'all be doing too much. And you need to understand that now it actually is clearer outside, because when I was going to work, it was evident that a tree had fallen across the entire road. So they had cleared it up before I got on the road. So I'm like, you need to calm down. Like, y'all cannot drive when the sun is out in the daytime with a flashlight. So you need to go somewhere and sit down before you hydroplane into a wall, into a building, into this bridge up here and everything else. Because there have been several one-car accidents. Anyway, back to what's going on. So anyway, I'm working back in the new department with the side heifer's cousin, who was my partner, and these other two people who, you know, they ended up biding their time and going on by their business. Had a decent day. I ain't had no issues. For whatever reason, I don't know what, I don't know. I don't know what was going on with myself and the side heifer's cousin, but he was all the way here for all of my shenanigans. I have issues, y'all. I am weird. Okay, so let me calm down first of all, because I'm speeding like I done lost my mind. Because it's not bad right now, but I need to calm. I get excited sometimes, and then I just start having a lead foot, even though I do have a lead foot anyway, but I need to calm down. So anyway, like, for instance, he gonna tell me that when he to break up, we can't go to break until after a certain time. But before he even said that, he said, we ain't done no work, so until we do work for 2 hours straight, we ain't having no breaks or whatever. Because, like, we had a good day. We had a good day of doing, I mean, we were doing stuff, but it wasn't what it could have been had everything been operational. So I'm like, I'm gonna take advantage of it, because you know how it is. Like, don't act like you don't know how it goes, sir. One day we get to relax, and the next day everything is wide open, and you wish you would have never even came to work that day. So anyway, you know, he was playing, but it was funny. So we was on the same type of time. He had me dying laughing. He really had me dying laughing. So anyway, we kept having banter like that back and forth. Before all of that started happening, the guy who I told y'all about a couple of days ago, who sound like T-Pain, has the personality of T-Pain, all of that, he was there. Somehow we barely work on, well, he works back there all the time, but whatever his days of the week are, I'm usually not there working back there when he's there. And if I am, it's like once or twice a week or something like that. If it is a whole week on my work week, I might run into him like twice. Like, that'll be days when he's actually going to break and all this stuff like that, and I'll see him in passing, right? So I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing with this camera. The camera is all over the place. Y'all excuse me. I don't know. I just had to get on up out of there, because the foolishness at the end. Y'all will know. So anyway, why do y'all not have on lights? I'm sorry, y'all, because I already told y'all before that we get tickets and everything else when you don't have lights. Your lights on when it's raining and all that. So I'm trying to figure out what in the world they got going on. Yeah, let me hurry up and get to the house, because y'all ignorant. it is too much ignorant driving. Wait a minute. I almost forgot I had to watch and make sure that this married man ain't following me. I don't think he is. Let me make sure before I turn off. I don't think he is. So anyway, that definitely was him. Like I said before, the vehicle that he has, I ain't never seen nobody else around here with that particular one, and it's like a newer model of that particular vehicle. So anyway, y'all, so the dude, I gotta tell y'all what I did. The dude that act like T-Pain and all that stuff, right? So I rolled up on him. He had already, man, he was loud. He was loud as I don't know what, speaking to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, why you bringing so much attention over here? Golly. So then I said, I have a plan. Y'all don't understand how weird I am. I'm crazy. So I said, either he gonna get it or he ain't when I do this. So I walked up to him, and so he took his like protective equipment and stuff out from over his ears and stuff, right? And so I leaned into him and I said, wait a minute. I said, you searching for fame? And like he really was like intently listening to me. I said, you searching for fame? How'd I go? I said, I became a superstar in the dope game or something like that. However the song go. It is a Young Dolph song. Now, I wasn't a Young Dolph fan before he passed away. I had heard about him. I didn't know what in the world was going on. Come to find out his mama actually named him Adolf. I was like, what is going on here? But anyway, like I knew who he was from the South. I knew he was a Southern rapper. I had never really heard any of his music, but I like a handful of his songs that I have come across from hearing them in like a random TikTok or something. So I have that song. Foes on the Mercedes, that's Major. I think the name of the song is called That's Major or That's Major or something like that. But anyway, it's a Young Dolph song. So as soon as I said that second part, he bust out laughing so hard. Oh my gosh. That man was done with me. It was so funny. I said, because I had already said either he gonna get it or he ain't gonna get it. And so he ended up getting it. And he got his entire life. He was like, wait a minute. Where is that from? I was like, oh, it's a song. He was like, oh, I know it's a song. But what song is it from? Who raps the song? And so I said, it's a Young Dolph song. He was like, I knew it. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, I didn't know if you was going to pick it up. I didn't know if you was going to pick up what I was putting down. He was like, man, you crazy. And I'm like, see, he be doing a lot, but he don't know that when I want to, I can match his energy or surpass it. But he be doing so much, y'all. I have asked other people again today, does he act like this all the time? Is this what he on all the time? And they just started laughing. I'm like, why are you laughing? I need to know if this is just what y'all get with him every single day. So anyway, that happened. And he had moments where he, tell me why he want to get the rundown today. Done asked me, am I married? Do I have kids? Do I have a boyfriend? I was like, what is going on here? Why? And like the way he said what he said about, wanting to know about my marital status or whatever, he said it as if he knew that I was married or had a man or something like that. And I was like, I don't have one of those. Like that's my famous thing to say to people. I'd be like, oh, I don't have one of those. Y'all excuse me. I'm putting some hand sanitizing stuff on my hand, using the last of this particular one that's in my car up. But I'm doing it because it's gonna make my hand not look ashy, because I feel like my hand was looking ashy earlier from when I last washed them. Anyway, so yeah, this dude is hilarious. He be killing me. And then I'm trying to tidy up. I'm trying to do, I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to do all these things. He calling me out. He was like, man, we trying to go to break. You over here doing this and that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do no work now. He was like, yeah, you can do work, but you're making us look bad. Like, again, if y'all know how T-Pain is, this is exactly what he is doing. So anyway, that happened. Okay, so we minding our business. We came back. We were about to become operational. We doing all the things we need to do. Cool. Had a good day. Now, I'm still trying to figure out what this person needed to tell me, because I was told that he didn't want to hear my name around work no more. And I'm like, what is you talking about? Like, are you saying? He was like, no, I need to know. Like, I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. Or whenever the next time I see. I'm looking like, we need to talk about this now. So, you know, like I said at the beginning of this, I rolled up and was like, okay, so what was said? And who said it? So he was like, I'm not going to tell you right now because you're going to be mad. I was like, I'm looking at him like, so what you finna say that's gonna make me mad? He was like, I'm not gonna tell you to the end of the day. Whatever. So we finally agree on the time. I was like, okay, so where you gonna be at? Are you gonna be here, there, where? He was like, trust me, you gonna see me. You gonna see me. So I went looking for him. I didn't see him. So I went and put my stuff up because, look, first of all, part of the foolishness that I was on today was I told my partner that I was going to leave, but I was only supposed to tell her I'm going to go to break, right? This was my last break. So I said, so I propped up while he was in the middle of doing something. I propped up and I just, was just looking around, looking all crazy or whatever. Like, I'm really looking like this. And so he looked up at me and then looked back at the paperwork he was working on, then looked at me like, okay. And then looked. So then I was like, yeah, so I'm about to go to break. And I'm not coming back. And so he was like, well, yeah, you better, I'm going to go ahead and call, the supervisor or whatever. I was like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll call him and let him know. So, I don't know what's wrong with me. So anyway, I don't know. It flowed. It was crazy. So anyway, so he had walked off, did something. So I thought it would be funny if I grabbed all of my stuff, because normally I leave stuff behind to signify that I'm coming back, because I have to get all of my stuff before I leave whatever area that I'm working in, right, for the day. Or if I know I'm going somewhere else, I have to come get my stuff and take it with me. So I said, where he at? And then I saw him. I was like, oh, he didn't go too far. So I didn't know if he had left out to go do something or not, and he didn't. So when I saw him, I had grabbed all my stuff. So I had backed up. Like, y'all don't understand. I'm weird. I do stuff like this all the time. I made it look like I was about to make a mad dash, right? So I had all my stuff in my hand. I was backing up. I looked at him. Like, he was across the room, and he looked at me like, you understand it? I be dying. And so I was like, I'm gone. He was like, well, they better figure it out, because I don't care. I ain't doing this, that, and the other after a certain time. I was like, I'm just joking. I'm only going to break. I'll be back. So, like, I really had to sell it. But he don't be knowing sometimes if I'm being serious because of how crazy. Like, I grabbed all of my stuff on purpose to see, if he was going to be like, all right now. Because the way I said it earlier, it made it seem as though I'm about to walk out and never return. And I was like, dang, I wasn't trying to make it seem like that's what I was saying. I was trying to make it seem like I'm leaving for the day. Like, I'm leaving right now. I'm leaving an hour before it's time for me to get off, and I'm not coming back here. So y'all figure out whatever needs to be done. Even though that's not really what I was going to do, but that's what I was trying to get him to understand. That's what I was trying to convey. Y'all, here we go. Here go the foolishness. I got to get situated because I just can't believe this foolishness right here. Okay. Let me compose myself because let me compose myself because I feel like I'm going to get mad all over again. Okay. So I finally find this man. I ran into everybody else before I ran into him. And so I put my stuff up and all that or whatever. So I had like 15 minutes left of my break. So I was like, all right. He got to be back here he got to be in his department. So I went, as soon as I got close enough to where our department begins, I saw him. I said, oh, okay, there you go right there. So then he put a smirk on his face. I was like, okay. So he was like, yeah, found me. I was like, yeah. So what was said? So he was like, what you talking about? I was like, no, you told me I had to wait until this time before you told me what it was that was said. I want to know what was said. So in my mind, I feel like what was said was the same thing that was said like a month or so ago to the young dude who got the 2 kids, which was speculation, people wondering whether or not myself and the divorced man had been screwing, which I don't even understand the correlation because we don't work together. We don't work on the same shift. Like, what is you talking about? I don't even understand why that's a question after we haven't even worked together for like over a year now. He ain't even been on the same shift as me in pretty much almost a year, if not a year. So what is we talking about? Anyway, I mean, and then the few times that he's come over to my place, nobody has seen him. Nobody has seen him. Only a handful of people know where I live. And those particular people don't live anywhere near me. So the only reason why they even know where I live because at that time there was construction work going on. And in order for them to get home, they had to cut off and come off the exit where I live and go through the area, this particular area, to get onto another road that leads them to their home. That's the only reason why they knew where I lived and all of that. So, you know what I'm saying? That has been over with. They don't come this way, but they still know where I live because they know where my car sits. So anyway, that's beside the point. But anyway, let me go ahead and get to the foolishness. So he was like, I was told. So I'm looking at him like, okay, let me lean in my ear because I really need to hear this because I feel like I'm going to have to cuss this heifer out. Because at this point, that's what I'm thinking that the foolishness is that's being spread around the building is that he and I are sleeping together. And it's like, okay, I'm leaning my ear because I'm like, I got to make sure I hear you. This man going to say to me that the married man, the OG married man, remember when I used to do the married man side heifer saga? Yeah, he was talking to him. And he said, man, you heard about your girl? And so he was like, who was my girl? And he was like, oh, you know your girl that work upstairs in your department that, you know, you be doing this too. And you be calling her sweetheart and all this other stuff. And so he was like, oh, you talking about me? And he said my name or whatever, right? He was like, yeah, you heard about her, right? He was like, what you talking about? He was like, well, yeah, I heard she be sleeping around with somebody up in here. And so he said, in the typical way that he would say it, the full-on words, BS. She wouldn't do that to me. Now, he has this thing where he try to make it seem like we're a thing and whatever, and we're not. He got a whole wife at the house. I just told y'all the other day his wife was sick and she was going through and she's recovering now and all of that. So anyway, I'm just like, child, even if he do cheat, he ain't gonna get nothing from me. Sorry, I'm not interested in none of them. None of them. So anyway, so I was like, who am I supposed to be sleeping with? Like, what is we talking about? Because again, in my mind, I'm thinking this heifer going around the building, she going around work, trying to tell people that me and this person are sleeping together, me and the divorced man. No. The way he said it made the guy say, are you talking about yourself? He was like, man, I ain't gonna say all that. I ain't gonna say nothing. Like, however he worded it, he said, well, you just let me know right then and there that you trying to make it, that you're saying that you were the one that she been sleeping with. So then he was like, well, I'm gonna ask her myself. He was like, no, don't go ask her. Don't ask her that. Don't ask her nothing. Why can't he ask me? Why can't he ask me? Why all of a sudden you came up to him big and bold? You came up to this man big and bold talking about I'm sleeping around with somebody up in the building, you. But now you talking about no, don't ask her, don't tell her that, don't ask her that, don't tell her what was said. And so he came and told me. Now, he was scared I was gonna be angry. My initial reaction was, are you serious? He was like, yes, I am serious. I was like, you can't be serious. And I started laughing because I'm like, nah, you really can't be serious. Like, this is a joke. So, oh, okay. Now, like I told y'all before, I was about to tell y'all the name of the dang department. I've been in the new department. Okay. And most of the time I'm in the new department, which is nowhere near where he works. You know what I'm saying? He is in my home department, but he works in another capacity. And so, since I haven't been able to see him, we can't do our usual, which is we roll up on one another and we talk trash to one another. And we have like our little like back and forth playful stuff or whatever that we do. Like it's fun. We be reading each other. It is hilarious. People really be standing there watching us. Like when we have meetings sometimes, like before the meeting starts, sometimes we have our little back and forth in front of the whole department, whoever's there with us, and they be looking like, and it's normal. Like some of the people who know, they know, and they laugh, but other people be like, what are they got going on? So I literally have not been able to go and stand over there and talk to him and all of this, and he hasn't been able to really come upstairs because I'm not up there most of the time and talk to me about nothing. So I'm thinking, you done went to this extreme because we have not been able to really talk like that. Like, are you serious right now? Like, I'm really thinking this is a joke. He keep telling me, no, I'm dead serious. I was like, you can't be. So then I'm starting to realize that this is serious. Like, he's being serious when he's telling me that this man done rolled up on him talking about he and I have been sleeping together. And that it's been a continuous thing. Because he was like, oh, he added more to it. He said, it's a continuous thing. It's something that happens on a regular. And I'm looking like, you can't be talking about me. You cannot be talking about me because I have not given this man so much as a handshake. Okay, so for those of y'all who are new here and y'all haven't seen like my Married Man Side Heifer sagas and all that stuff, let me give y'all the background on this man and my interactions, if you will, with him. I'm going to try to be as brief as I can because it's been a lot, but since ain't nothing really popping off with that situation no more like that, to that degree, I don't do Married Man Side Heifer sagas. But whenever something pops off, that's when I, will do / upload a Married Man Side Heifer saga and tell y'all about what happened specifically with all of that foolishness. Okay, so I started working there. I'm minding my business. This is COVID. I've been working there 2 years, okay? So I'm minding my business. And when I'm coming back from break one day, I remember this like it was yesterday, y'all. I'm coming back from break. I look behind me, nobody's there. I look in front of me, nobody's there. I get to this door that leads to everything that I need to get to or whatever, right? Before I have to go upstairs to my department. I look behind me again to make sure that nobody's there. And then somebody was about to come through. So I opened the door for them. Now, because of COVID, they have it where you have to wave your hand in front of the door. But before then, they didn't. I was wearing gloves. I wear gloves all the time at work anyway for what I do. And so I normally put my gloves on when I know I'm about to start walking to go and start back working. So I put on my gloves, and so I held the door open for this guy because he was coming out. And I'm like, oh, you can come on out. Like I said, nobody was behind me. So this man said, thank you. I'm about to step foot through the door. I'm walking through this door, and all of a sudden, the married man's groin area is on my butt. Okay, you would think we was at a club because that's how up on me he was. I already looked behind me twice. Nobody was there. Where did you come from, Houdini? At this point, I don't even understand. This man came from out of nowhere. I had never met this man a day in my life. I didn't know what his name was. I had never seen this man ever in life, ever before this moment. So instead of me being scared, like, oh my gosh, because he just rolled up, like I'm talking about this wasn't no bumping into you because I'm fat. Okay, I've always had booty, hips, and thighs. Even before I got fat, before I had a stomach, all of that, I always had booty, hips, and thighs. So I've always had moments where I might accidentally bump into somebody with my booty or whatever. That wasn't the case. I was minding my business. I was moving forward. Nobody was in front of me anymore because that person had already gone through the door so that they can go on their break, and nobody was behind me. This man had appeared from nowhere. I'm trying to understand, where did you even come from? There was no, and then, y'all, the way that it was set up, you only could come in one way and leave out another. Like, there was no way for you to cut through or nothing. So I'm like, where this man had to have sprinted to get to me. And it was a long distance between the two doors before you have to go into the entrance of where I was headed, right? So I'm like, on the inside, I'm like, who is this and where did this person come from? But he was literally like, y'all, this man was like this. You would have thought this was my man. How he had his midsection on my cheeks. Okay, so I didn't say nothing. He was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, fine. He introduced himself to me, told me his name, asked me what was my name, asked me did I like the job that I was doing. And I'm saying to myself the whole time, how you know where I work and what I'm doing? Not the fact that I work at this particular place, this building, in this building, but how do you know what department I work in? I don't even know you. You just told me your name. I ain't never seen you in life. So anyway, that's how we met one another. I had never seen this man before. I didn't know who he was. Not knowing this man works in my department, but in a completely different capacity, far away from me. This man still works in my department. Okay? I ain't never seen this man a day in life. I ain't know what was going on. To this day, still have not given him so much as a handshake. He has to initiate the "Hey, how you doing" 99% of the time. So I'm just like, I don't understand where you're getting that you and I have done anything. This, just because you want something to happen and you wish that something was happening, does not make it so. Because that's what seemed like is going on here. I don't even understand why you would even open your mouth to make it seem like I'm out here thotting and bopping with you. If y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, everybody roast the side heifer down to the ground. She is ugly. Nothing about her is appealing. And I'm just like, girl. And then they read her. Even people even dudes that be cheating be reading her about her cheating with married men. Married men that be cheating be reading her. And I'm like, that's sad. that's kind of sad and some more. That they reading you too. But anyway, why would you think, and I straight up asked the guy who told me this information, I said, do I look like I'm hard up? Like, I don't understand. Like, I need to understand if I look the part as if I'm hard up for anything. Do I look like I'm hard up for sex? Do I look like it? Because I have options. If I want something of the sexual nature, trust and believe I could make a phone call and what I want would be right in front of me. Who is this? Man, if you don't get from around here and you ain't got the first light on, you cannot do this in a curve. This person is sitting in this curve and just ain't got the first light on. Get on by. They're gonna put on their hazards and they just in the curve. Now, if somebody whoop around the corner and hit them, it's gonna be a problem. Y'all, if y'all hear screeching, just know that that's what happened. And I hope that they don't veer over here, because that's exactly what would more than likely happen if they cannot correct it. And I'm just like, why are you sitting right here? Oh, I can't stand ignorant people. Y'all, I'm sorry. I just cannot. Y'all see, I had made it home. I hadn't said nothing about the traffic, about the terrible driving, or none of that. But here we go. Anyway, y'all, try to ignore this ignorant person. So anyway, it has to be out of sight, out of mind, because otherwise I'm gonna keep focusing on it. Okay, y'all. So anyway, this man is the one who goes out of his way trying to figure out what I got going on. He walks up to the divorced man every single time he see him and asks him about me. Every single time he sees this man. This man is under the impression that he and I must have something going on. We didn't exchange numbers, a hug, a kiss, or something. Have I let this man touch me or something? Like, why is he so obsessed if he ain't never had nothing from me? I don't give him none of my energy. Like, this man really be like, he sure will be coming up to me all the time asking me about you. I'm like, I don't understand why. I don't want no parts. I don't want no parts. You dealing with that dusty heifer. If you think you can pull me, even if you were single and dealing with her, sir, I ain't trying to go behind that. If you were single, if this man was single and he had anything from me, if he was able to get anything of the sexual nature from me, I would have created a stalker. Nobody has time. I do not have time to create a stalker. I already have stalkers who have, again, on the same level, they have not had so much as a handshake from me. and they be doing the most. I'm just like, baby, you ain't got a hug, a handshake, nothing. What is wrong with you? What is wrong? Y'all, I just cannot. This man really sat up here and he over here trying to make it seem like me and him have an ongoing sexual relationship when I have never even shook his hand. I barely say hey back to him. Where are you getting in your mind that you and I are having sex from? You need to stop the lies. You need to stop the lies. So, because if I stomp you out, if I kick you in your balls and stomp you out, I'd be wrong, right? Oh, okay. I would be wrong. In some way, you will find a way to say I'm wrong if that was my reaction. If I saw you, the next time I saw you, I stomp you out, you'll try to make it seem like I'm wrong for having this reaction. Well, if why are you so passionate about it if this is something that didn't happen? I don't like when people lie on me. And I don't like when people sit up there and worry about what I am doing in my personal life. I can screw who I want to screw. I can spend time with who I want to spend time with. Why are you worried about me? I don't care nothing about y'all. Y'all sit up there and make a point to put y'all's stupid situationships and entanglements out there for the general public to know about. That's the only reason why I know what they all got going on. Is because they tell everybody they raggedy business. Which is trash at that. The trash business. It ain't even nothing worth mentioning. It is trash. Y'all, I just can't. So this man was just like, see, I know you couldn't have done anything with him because you went from laughing to being serious. And I see you being upset. Like I told y'all, I cannot hide how I feel. I cannot hide my emotions. And I really was laughing initially, like, you have to be joking. Like, he really sat up here and made this up because we have not been able to have our usual back and forth and just have conversations about whatever happens to come up at that particular moment on that day. So, and I mean, once I realized he was being serious, I'm just like... I really asked this man, I said, do I look like I'm hard up? Do I look like I'm hard up? And I told him, I said, I can show you proof right now of people who are begging me to bust it wide open for them. People who are begging me to do certain sexual things for them because they have gotten their entire lives. You know what I'm saying? And when I say people, I'm talking, well, I mean, it's like, child, it ain't no laundry list of people, but I'm just saying, it ain't a lot of people. I don't even know how I'm not even trying to explain that like that. It's just, one of the receipts is somebody who has experienced me, so to speak, and they are so serious that they are willing to pay me. And I'm like, I'm not a prostitute though. And I'm in retirement. I keep telling them that I'm in retirement. They was like, well, I'm trying to bring you out of retirement. What I gotta pay you? Like, I need that in my life. And I'm like, no, you don't. You can find whatever you're seeking somewhere else. Like, this man don't even live here. This man live like 3-4 hours away. He moved. He was living here. He moved away. He lives hours away now. And now he's talking about what I gotta pay. Because I'm willing to pay you. I'm willing to pay you for these services. That's how serious I am. And I'm like, sir, I'm not a prostitute. And I'm not I'm in retirement. I'm saying that I'm retired. I'm saying that I am retired. So it just is what it is. You ain't getting nothing from me. I ain't got it. I don't have nothing to do. I'm trash. This man was like, you are not trash, whatever. I can't even tell y'all the specifics because some of y'all's eyebrows will go up like, wait a minute. Kind of interested to see about that myself. What is going on here? I ain't got time. But anyway, I be feeling like I'm trash. People be getting their life. I don't know why, whatever. I don't claim to be amazing, but these people be getting their entire lives and be losing their mind. I ain't got time for it. But anyway, every time I look up, this person keeps saying, man, you don't understand. You turned me out. You did this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you capping. And they tell me, no, I'm not capping. You don't understand. I'm like, man, ain't nobody got time for this. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. We ain't got nothing else to discuss. So anyway, if he were single, he would have lost his mind if I was to ever give him anything. I ain't got time for it. I do not have time. But anyway, I did not believe that was what the situation was. You wouldn't have, I told this man, I said, that is the last thing I would have thought that you was going to ask me about or to actually say to me. Was that this man going around making it seem like he and I have an ongoing sexual relationship. Boy, if you don't get out of here, I really can't. I really cannot. I ain't so much as shook his hand. Man, y'all the spitting for me. I cannot. It's the spitting for me. Like, I cannot. Ooh, child. He just disgusts me. And he ain't no ugly dude. That's the thing. I cannot stress that enough. He is not ugly. But it's just so many different things about him that just make me side eye him. Outside, like, I'm already not about to look at you any type of way. Like, ooh, wait a minute. When you married. Like I'm about to set it off for you. Like, I mean, now look here. Any of us women, and if there are any gay men out there who have eyes, we know what people like Method Man look like. Method Man fine for no reason. But I'm not finna be disrespectful and send no DM to this man and say I will bust it wide open for you or nothing like that. I'm not lusting after nobody's husband. That's what I'm not doing. He is fine. The truth is just the truth. The truth shall set you free. That's all I'm saying. Method Man is fine for no reason. He is. That's just a fact. But I'm not sitting up here trying to set a trap and trying to bust it wide open for him, trying to be a grouper for him, or anybody else. That's fine to me. If you fine, you just fine. But yeah, y'all, when I tell y'all, I was just like, I told him, man, I said, I cannot roll my eyes. I tried to roll my eyes as hard as I could. I couldn't roll my eyes hard enough. I was like, I cannot. You really got me messed up. He was like, see, I'm glad that I told you when I told you, because he's not here. So he was here earlier, right? And so I guess he came in for a couple of hours and left. And I was trying to figure out why he said something about him not being here. I'm like, I just saw him earlier. And he was halfway trying to speak then. And I'm like, what you mean he ain't here? And when I left out, normally when I leave out, his car is still there. And it wasn't. So I don't know if he went up the street early or what. I don't know. That's why part of me was like, is that the married man? But that was his vehicle. And he did not follow me. Thank goodness ain't nobody got time. So yeah. But yeah, y'all, that was the foolishness of the day. Y'all pray for me. I will definitely be praying for everybody who is under this foolishness that's going on. I'm about to go inside because I got to go to sleep soon. I got to be at work later. Y'all have a good weekend. Bye.